Good morning. You're listening to the Morning Buzz here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. My name's Lara Zaccardi, and I have a wonderful room of ladies. I got a wonderful room of ladies with me this morning. I have my co-host Julia Slevin,
Good morning.
our newscaster Mia Savage,
Good morning.
our segment host Mia Watson,
Good morning.
and our sportscaster slash producer Elizabeth Godoy.
Sports.
So many good sports and so much news we have to cover today. We're going to be talking about Roe v. Wade, the anniversary more specifically. We're also going to be talking about a robocall from a certain politician. And not only that, we're going to be talking about the weather because I don't know about you, and I don't know if you've been outside, but it is a little bit cold. But before we get into anything like that, I'm going to send it over to Miss Savage for the newscast.
All right, good morning. I'm Mia Savage, and this is WMSC News. So, our top story, plagiarism probe finds some problems with former Harvard president Claudine Gay's work. Harvard is investigating a recent plagiarism allegation made against their current president, Claudine Gay. These allegations were made known a couple months ago on October 24th, 2023. The school reached out to several authors who Gay is accused of plagiarizing off of. One of her graduate school papers was found to contain some words as other works published before. Presidents before her have let go in observation of recent world events. All right, our national news, more than $1 billion awarded to Minnesota-Wisconsin bridge. It was announced that the U.S. Department of Transportation has given more than $1 billion in federal funding to help replace the John A. Blatnick Bridge between Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's an aging bridge that needs to be replaced. This investment will repair a major connection between the states, allowing for a better economical relationship and growth between the two states. Each state committed around $400 million to fund the build. And for local New Jersey news, an LBI man serves for more than 1,000 days straight. A man from LBI serves for more than 1,000 days straight. Sometimes he'll serve for as little as half an hour or a few hours at a time, like 3 or 4. He says that he wants to hit around the 3-year mark around late April. He's in the ocean almost every day, devoting countless hours to his craft. And for weather today, it has a high of 39 degrees and a low of 29 degrees. It'll be moderately cloudy all day. Right now, it's a lot colder compared to when it will be this afternoon, with a temperature of around 30 degrees. And this has been WMSC News. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Mia. And we're kicking it over to Elizabeth. What's going on in sports?
Sports. Good morning. I'm Liz, and this is WMSC Sports. So, for our first story today, Tom Pelissero, the NFL Network insider, reported that the Titans plan to hire Brian Callahan, the Bengals offensive coordinator, as their head coach. Even though Callahan had interviews scheduled with the Atlanta Falcons and Carolina Panthers for a position of head coach, he had a second interview with the Titans. This move would mark Callahan's first NFL head coaching job and will succeed Mike Rebel, who was fired on January 9th. For football news today, NFC and AFC championships are set. The NFC championship will feature the Lions and the 49ers, both of whom finished the season with a 12-5 record. They also both decided their last playoff games by catching an interception in the final minutes to put the game away. The AFC Championship will have the Lamar Jackson led Ravens against the Patrick Mahomes led Chiefs. The Ravens finished the season with a league leading 13-4 record and have been proven a tough team to beat. Nevertheless, these exciting matchups will take place starting next Saturday. Sliding over to NBA, a blockbuster midseason trade went down, sending Raptors star Pascal Siakam to the Pacers in exchange for Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora for 2 first-round picks, and a second-round pick. Adding Siakam into the mix to complement superstar guard Tyrese Halliburton and lockdown center Miles Turner has suddenly made this very scary Pacers team even scarier. And the Pacers have been seeking competitiveness since the Paul George era, and since Pascal is most likely a 1-year rental, they will be looking to see just how far they can push through the playoffs with this squad. And now we have some scores for some local teams and Montclair teams. Finishing off this morning's sports news, the Nets lost to the Clippers 125 to 114. The Knicks beat the Raptors 126 to 100. The Devils lost to the Stars 6 to 2, and the Rangers lost to the Kings 2 to 1. As for Red Hawk updates, the women's basketball team is 7 to 11, and the men's basketball team is 12 to 6. This has been WMSC Sports. Back to you, Lara.
It's not looking for New York teams, huh? Liz?
No, it's really not.
I feel like
It's
it
not
never
looking
is.
good.
Well, our thoughts and our prayers are with our New York team. Well, thank you, Liz, for the sports update. And moving into our top story today, President Joe Biden is taking steps to expand access to abortion medication and contraception. According to USA Today, these are the latest moves by his administration to counter a wave of state abortion bans. Some believe the administration did this to bring reproductive rights to the center of his reelection bid. The new actions include expanding coverage for no-cost contraception. Contraception. A lot of tongue twisters this morning. Through the Affordable Care Act under new guidance from federal agencies. Federal employees will also receive greater access to contraception under guidelines issued to certain insurers. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra is also expected to send a letter. This letter will inform private insurance companies, state Medicaid, and Medicare programs that they must provide no-cost contraception to the people they serve. Must say, shouldn't this have been done before the Roe v. Wade anniversary?
That's a very, very good.
That silence was really
Yeah,
loud.
I was waiting. I thought you were gonna say one more thing. I'm sorry.
No, that's a
Um,
statement.
Yeah, that's definitely a statement, and I definitely think that should have been in consideration. But only time will tell from here on what's gonna happen. I guess over the next few weeks, seems very up in the air right now.
Everything always is. And you know what? This is just another race, another quality, another just point of the race to 2024. Because for those who don't know, it's an election year and everyone's going to be scrambling for everything.
Yeah,
So this is just another.
that's definitely true, and I also think that's a very good point of why everyone should keep up with media and
Yippee.
self-aware, because there's a lot of information that's going to be thrown at us in the next couple weeks.
And don't worry, we will keep you here. We will keep you updated on the morning buzz here. But we're going to slide over into how we're feeling. And you know how I'm feeling?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little chilly.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, it is cold, so let's talk some weather. A chance of snow and freezing rain is also possible in North Jersey and the Poconos tonight into Wednesday. Low temperatures are most likely going to dip below freezing. However, the storm still could bring icy conditions to areas further south and east, depending on how the system evolves. AccuWeather meteorologists note the greatest concern for the week will be for travelers in the Northeast, with any moisture from fog or rain capable of causing sheets of clear ice to develop. We can expect warmer temperatures in the 40s and 50s tomorrow and Thursday, alongside with some more rain. The precipitation should taper off by Friday morning, forecasters said, just in time for high temperatures approaching 60 degrees. Ooh, that's exciting.
It is going to rain, though, on Friday.
The weather has been really, really scary, and being on the roads is just not great right now. There's a lot of scary ice, and I've seen so many cars like skid out. Just scary time for a
careful.
car.
It's
You know,
be careful. And I don't know, I think we touched upon this, but oh no, we were yapping about this before we actually got on air.
me and Laura need to pre-yap.
We need to
before we
pre-yap.
really yap. You know,
We were all yapping and we realized that there's a 90% chance of snow in the Montclair area at 8 o'clock. So we have 15 minutes until it will most
This
likely start
morning?
to snow. Yeah? Yes,
Okay,
ma'am?
I thought you were saying like 8 o'clock at night.
No.
Why?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
50 minutes.
What if we get snowed in? Then you guys are just gonna have to
Listen to
Whoa.
hang
us.
out with us and talk news all morning.
Oh my
As if
gosh.
Julie and I don't have shows this afternoon.
That's very true.
Oh my gosh, you better tune into the Wayback Machine today. At what time, Bae?
1 to 2 p.m.
Thank you.
Whoa.
We changed our schedule around for the spring and my brain hurts. 70 shows.
Oh,
Off topic. Back to the weather.
yes.
Yeah.
Well-
So if you are on the roads, please make sure you are staying safe.
Yeah, and keep cool out there, you know.
You're so silly. But
For you.
we are oh, hold on, guys. I'm having some technical difficulties for real. But before I mentioned that there was a certain robocall that has been circulating around, And the New Hampshire Attorney General's office says it is investigating what appears to be an unlawful attempt at voter suppression. NBC News reported on a robocall impersonating President Joe Biden. Yeah, that's right. That was not real. That told recipients not to vote in today's presidential primary. The investigation comes after a prominent New Hampshire Democrat whose personal cell phone showed up on the caller ID screens of those receiving the call, and they filed a complaint. Oh, he got it. That. Yeah. So Biden's name does not appear on today's ballot at all. According to disinformation experts, this call was most certainly created with an artificial intelligence, and New Hampshire attorneys are researching this and investigating this right now. But I think the main reason of bringing this to light is because AI can be horrifying, and if you don't know what's right and like what's real and what's fake, yeah.
It's so crazy because if you just played that and didn't give us any context to, the story behind it and how it's fake, I would 100% believe you. And I feel like so many other people would. Like, I often think about like the older generations before us that are not as equipped for AI, like how we're kind of now getting more and more used to it because we see it so much more often. I think about like our parents and older that are like, oh yeah, this is totally Joe Biden, like without a doubt. But at least now we all have to be much more self-aware about the media that we consume and what, is the sources and such. But that's definitely something wild,
Well, like over the weekend, this is not like me, like hard news right now, for at least from me. But over the weekend, I saw on TikTok circulating this picture of the Eiffel Tower on fire. It was AI, but it looked pretty real. Because I saw a video of someone like being like, no, like I thought this was real. It's not. And then I saw like the actual video of like the pictures. It's so scary. It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane how advanced AI is getting in such a short amount of time. Like I feel like I was like hearing people use AI to cheat, and then now it's like, okay, now they're doing voicemails from like the president. So that seems like a jump in the last how long has AI been around for? Maybe 2 years. It's gotten more and more popular at least.
GPT. As for like deep fakes, I call this a deep fake, honestly. That's been circulated around for about a decade or so.
Yeah.
There's deep fakes are still circulating, and I just think they're getting more and more advanced. And it's starting to get a little tougher on on telling the difference between what's real and what's fake.
It's definitely a fine line that we're walking right now.
Yeah. But that's why it's important to stay in the loop for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what else is important?
What?
Driving safely on the roads.
Oh, and we love talking about the roads and the weather. Sticking to the theme here, New Jersey driver permit law passes with help of West Orange teens. A state law involving permits for young New Jersey drivers has crossed the finish line with the help from some high school students in West Orange. According to the New Jersey legislator, the law will quote, "This bill requires holders of examination permits and special learners permits under the age of 21 to complete at least 50 hours of practice driving, at least 10 of which are to be completed during hours of darkness. The parent or guardian or supervising driver of the permit holder is to certify that these hours of practice driving have been completed." The chief administrator of New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission is to suspend the driving privileges of any permit holder who submits a fraudulent certification. The bill also requires a sample practice driving log to be included in the informational brochures distributed to parents and guardians of being drivers under the age of 18. The law's implementation is set to commence in February of 2025, with the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission overseeing its enforcement. Wow, that's a lot.
50 hours.
50 hours.
10 in the dark.
10 in the dark definitely is interesting. I also really see that as important as somebody. I'm really scared of driving in the dark. I don't know about you ladies in the room. It really freaks me out, especially up here in North Jersey with all the construction when it's dark and there's construction and there's crazy, you know what they say about Jersey drivers. So maybe this is a good idea. I think that it's definitely interesting. And I really think it's interesting that they mentioned the idea of fraudulent certification. It's like they already know somebody's going to come in with not official paperwork saying that they did all these hours, but they really didn't. They already are like, just in case you're thinking about not doing the 50+ hours.
The question is, do you think this would discourage other teenagers from learning how to drive?
I mean, I
Yes.
definitely think
Yeah.
that would play a really, really big role, especially in like not as suburban like areas, like in areas like Hoboken or like Jersey City, areas that you have much more public transportation. I definitely think that's going to affect it more heavily. I feel like in certain areas where you need to drive, it's like, well, what are your options if you don't? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm 21 years old, right? And I know so many people who are like have such an aversion to driving and not necessarily like a fear of driving. They just haven't gotten around to getting their license yet. Some of them do have like, there is a fear thing in there, but I feel like something like this would like delay it even further because I have a few friends that are like, "Oh, well, like I'm just going to wait till after graduation at this point." It's like, "Okay, but now you need to do 50 like, now you need to do all this practice driving now cuz
Yeah.
The 50 hours is for 21 and under.
oh,
So
I did
under 21.
yeah.
You're good though.
Because I know some people, like my one friend, she's 23. She got her license less than a year ago. Just because she just didn't.
Good for
And
her.
I'm a short
Yeah.
girl. Like you have to have a car. You have to have your driver's
that's
license
exactly
to drive
how
around.
I am. Yeah.
But I don't know.
It definitely is interesting. I feel like I took my driving test so long ago. I mean, I'm 23, so that's kind of wild, but it's very interesting for like freshly 17, 18-year-olds to have to do this. And it also makes me think about like, okay, the rest of us, we all had to take our permit. Like you had to do your certain amount, 6 hours was it? Of permit driving, and then you were able to get handed your permit. But then I think about all these, young adults that might not have somebody to practice drive for 50 hours with. Like, what if they have working parents or they just don't have people at home that can like help them and supervise with that? And it makes me feel really bad because I feel like if you're already on the edge of, I don't know if I really want to go through with this process, this might delay you, like you said, Mia, even more,
Yeah. And like, I have younger siblings. Like I have two sisters that are 2 and 4 years younger than me. And I know when they had their driver's permits, like you have to be a certain age to be the designated like adult in the car. And I forget if it's 18 or 21, but
I
like
think it's 21.
yeah, because when my youngest sister had her permit, I couldn't like be in the car with her and it would like count.
That is crazy. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
The last thing I am going to point out here is I love how high school students in West Orange, which is like right next to us almost, they were pushing for more laws for permits, which is actually really cool because they always say we're the future XYZ, which is cool and all, but like I don't know, now I feel like we're seeing it.
Yeah, that is, and it's nice to hear this, and it's like, wow, okay, this is just one town over, it's very interesting. So,
but with that, we're actually gonna take a short little break here on the Morning Buzz, and dare I say, we'll drive. Anyway, this is Drive by Incubus. And that was Drive by Incubus, and you're listening to the Morning Buzz here on WMSC. Welcome back. We took a little short break, but now we're back in full swing. And speaking of being back, we are back on campus for the spring 2024 semester.
Woo!
And I don't know about you, but I think it's so important to know how to stay safe when you're on campus. So, spring semester almost in full swing. We just went back last week. We're starting to get back into things. But as I like to say, it's so important to remember how to stay safe on campus. And according to northjersey.com, we have some tips to keep yourself safe. So, first tip is to keep the windows and doors of your residence hall, apartment, or house locked and not to let any unknown people into your building. Of course, staying aware of your surroundings. Walking in well lit and commonly traveled paths around campus are the best. Do not fully distract yourself with your phone or earbuds or headphones while you're traveling around campus, especially if it's later at night. It's also helpful to share your class schedule with your friends, your family, your roommates, just so people have an idea of where you are. And if you or somebody else are under the influence, it's important to stay in a group and never leave anybody behind. If you do go to a party with a group, make sure you never leave that group, and never leave your drink unattended or accept a drink from a stranger. And of course, to learn more, you could always visit montclair.edu/university police. But yeah, welcome back to campus, friends.
It feels so good to be back. And it feels good to also talk about things that are really important like this, that we should be self-aware about, and, to just acknowledge all this stuff and also keep ourselves and our friends safe. But it's so good to see everybody's faces in the studio today. It's been such a long time. We're just so back. We're so back, and we're back, and I think we're thriving and we're glowing and we're growing.
I was just waiting, and I didn't think it would happen so soon.
That really,
I didn't know it would happen so soon.
I have no words, Laura. You stun me every morning.
Do I really?
I don't think I was prepared for that.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, in multiple ways. But we will be talking about the growth of Montclair State University. On December 1st, Montclair State University President Jonathan Capel and Vice President of Student Development, Don Flores, engaged with campus media to discuss various topics, including the challenges and opportunities brought about by the recent surge in student enrollment and the merger with Bloomfield College. Capel acknowledged the positive, largest freshman acceptance to the university. As a result, the university has hired 42 new tenured faculty members to accommodate with the growth of student population. As Montclair State reached housing capacity, 61 students were offered the option to live at Bloomfield College. Leaders discussed long-term plans for accommodating future growth, considering factors such as residential space, classrooms, and infrastructure. President Capel highlighted investments in upgrading Wi-Fi infrastructure to support evolving student needs, emphasizing forward-thinking solutions for the next 15 years. More plans were discussed in terms of housing preferences, campus expansion, and building community. Montclair State is actively addressing the challenges and opportunities presented by the growth in student enrollment and the merger with Bloomfield College. So I'm definitely excited to see some more and what we're going to see in this upcoming semester.
Also, this article was from the Montclarian. Shout out the Montclarian. But you know what? At least there's a self-awareness here.
Yeah.
So where's the update on parking lots?
Yeah. Really, really good thought.
Ooh, Liz, my fellow commuter in the room.
She said what she said. She said what she said.
I said what I said.
Yeah. And I'm glad that we're noticing that there's definitely some challenges to think about. I'm really glad Wi-Fi was talked about. I feel like that's something that's the Wi-Fi. I hear everybody saying, whether you're in your, if you're a person that lives on campus, if you're in your apartment, if you're in your classroom, I feel like our Wi-Fi just at the university in general sometimes is wonky. I get it's a lot to provide fast streaming Wi-Fi to 25,000 plus students. Or is there 25,000?
There's too many.
Should we
I think it's like 22 or 23.
Again, parking.
I digress.
That too.
Parking, Wi-Fi. I totally forgot about the housing issues that happened, in the fall, with a lot of people really stressed out about a taming housing, not having enough housing. I mean, and then offering them to live, on another campus. So that's very interesting stuff. And I'm really glad that they weren't shy about highlighting any of this.
They went, we're gonna fix
And they went, what
this
can we do to fix the problem?
and that, but parking.
No parking.
You know what? Here's my tea.
Spill it.
Spilling.
Hot.
My beef with the parking lots here on camp. Sorry, guys. I need some background music.
I knew you were gonna put on.
You know what, guys? My beef here. I love Montclair State. I love being here. I love learning here. This is my last semester, so y'all aren't gonna get this no more in the fall. But you know what? My beef with parking lots goes back, way back, way back. As soon as I started here, but it hasn't been talked about as much ever since I started the Morning Buzz. That was fall 2021. But, I didn't make it a big deal until spring 2022 when I became the assistant producer. And you know what? I confidently say, as a student here for about 3 years now, give or take, whatever, I can't do math, that it hasn't changed. And all I ask is that the future generation gets parking. I just want the future students to make sure they don't have to worry about parking. Thank you.
Woo! That was beautiful.
That's your
That was
legacy.
extremely beautifully said. I think
The
I feel
hard loop was
overcome
beautiful.
of emotions. This feels really emotional right now. In the
Julia's
studio.
crying in the
I really
studio.
am. That was so
Yeah.
beautifully said. Wow. I mean, look at you you had to sacrifice your experience with your car in the parking lot for the future of Montclair State. And, your fellow peers are, very, very, thankful for your work. that you've
Lara
done for us.
personified crying, screaming, sliding down a
Yeah,
wall.
I felt like
A
that was
woman
a
of the
journey that
people.
we just went on.
Truly.
That was a roller coaster of emotions for everybody. And I really, wow, I'm taken back.
This is your legacy, Lara.
Even as a resident,
It's rough.
Yeah.
it's brutal out here. Well, I'm a senior. I have the senior parking pass, so I can park in the commuter lots. And I took my car from my housing in the village this morning, and even trying to find parking at 6 a.m, I was like, there's still only 2 spots available
Oh,
What are
my
y'all
goodness.
doing?
at 6 a.m.
It
in a commuter
really
lot.
is interesting how one thing that we talk about on the Morning Buzz on the frequent is the fact that it's just so claustrophobic here. I feel like at Montclair State,
Yes.
whether you're talking about the dining halls, the parking lots, the classrooms, I think I'm not speaking for everybody, and this is obviously not WMSC affiliated. This is just my personal opinion.
Or MSU
Or
affiliated.
MSU affiliated. It just sounds like this is a reoccurring issue that we have, whether you're trying to get parking, trying to get into the campus. There's just so many people that you have to map out an extra 25 minutes when you're leaving the house because you're there might be some traffic and I might not be able to get to my class, or even when you're planning to go on the shuttle, you definitely have to plan that in advance just in case, the shuttle's stuck in traffic, this, that, or the other thing. So it's definitely very interesting. I think it's a really good point that Mia brought up. Parking is such an issue. Laura
Listen.
fights for parking every day, it sounds.
I also, a quick little PSA. Please slow down if you're in the parking garage. I
Yeah.
fear for my life sometimes.
It really is scary up in there. And I don't know why it's really scary when people are, zooming all around the parking lot. And people are just trying to navigate. I'm like, why are we rushing so much?
No, it's where do we gotta go?
I know.
Where do we have to go?
I'm like, guys, we're going to class. And it's it's the fact that it's already happening again and we're 1 week into this. Do you
It's
even have
been
any real assignments
1
yet?
week- No. Oh, speaking of assignments, it's important to get your student academic engagement verification done because it's due today.
Thank
As
you for
a
that
reminder.
reminder.
You're so
I
welcome.
actually completely
also
forgot
have
that
to-
we
I
had
was-
this.
I was gonna go in depth for you just in case you don't know what that is.
Please.
As a reminder, the academic engagement verification is still open in Canvas for all spring courses, and it's due tonight at 11:59 p.m. This verification is required activity to be completed by every student, regardless of whether or not the professor uses Canvas for their course. To complete the verification process, you must log into Canvas and enter the assignments tabs in each course. But while you do log into Canvas, you have to do like 5 steps of verification. But that's fine. This assignment asks you to provide your class expectations and does it affect your it does not affect your final grade in each course. For those who are receiving financial aid, completion of the verification ensures the disbursement of the aid.
A lot of things to verify right now going on. Verification is a very big word. And thank you for saying that because I completely forgot about all of that.
Yeah, Pookie has to complete her academic engagement.
All the Pookies in studio have to be academic engagement certified.
You know what,
Okay.
y'all?
Yeah.
We need to
Yes.
be academically engaged.
Yeah.
Real.
If
I mean-
Elle Woods can do it, so can we.
There you
So
go.
true.
All the cool kids are getting academic engagement verification. So
girls go to
cool kids on the street sound like
Yep.
they're doing it. And, I might be influenced.
Cool girls go to class.
Cool
Yeah.
girls go to class.
Mhm.
That's the in 2024. You know how people are doing the ins and outs of 2024. That's an in.
Academic engagement
In.
and
Mhm.
Yeah.
shout out financial aid for real.
Thank you.
What's an out?
I'm
trying to think what's an out.
what is an out? Oh, being late to class. Is that an out?
No, bae, you say it. Mia.
Well, if I was Laura and I was listening to that heartbreaking story, I'd say parking is still out.
Yes.
I was like, Mia, you say it with your chest,
But
girl.
it's not for me. I don't-
Okay.
okay.
It one day will be for
Girl,
you.
you will
'Cause you'll
one day.
Maybe.
maybe bring a car here. I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
So expensive.
Traffic out.
Traffic out,
Yes.
paying so much money for a parking pass.
You know what's
Out.
also out? Parking tickets.
Yeah.
Out.
Oh my gosh.
Who's gonna tell parking services?
No shade. Love it here, Montclair. Why is the only time I've ever gotten a parking ticket on this campus? Twice.
Do you still have them?
I got one last year. I kept it on my fridge the whole school year.
I still have one in the back of my backpack.
So
Still
Yeah.
for
there.
those who don't know me personally,
I could probably find it.
starting fall 2022, I started collecting parking tickets. Not like they're not mine. They're not all mine. Just I want to be clear, they're not all mine. But I have a collection of parking tickets, and not just MSU ones. I got some New York City ones gifted by somebody I know. Thank you, kind soul. So if you still have it, I have a collection.
I got one sophomore year and then I got one last year. I did get them waived, so I didn't have to pay for them. So that was awesome.
You appealed it twice.
I appealed both of them.
Not
I appealed
again.
both of them and they got approved.
Oh my goodness.
Excuse the mic issue.
That's
We're
okay. We're
having
just
some technical.
Yes, technical difficulties. I did try to appeal my parking ticket once and it worked, but they were like, "This is a one-time appeal." They were like, "You can only do this once. Future parking tickets will not be, waived like this." So, man, the fact that you got 2 waived is quite impressive.
I agree.
Well, they do the food drive too. Parking Services does like a food drive
They do.
where, like, if you get a ticket at a certain time, you can bring in canned goods and they'll appeal your ticket.
Okay, that should
Yay.
be top news all the time.
November.
Yeah, wow, that happens in November. Oh, that's a great time.
But I don't know if you hear that, but
Hmm.
I'm thinking that it's sounding like a break. We'll be back here on the Morning Buzz, and when we do come back, we're gonna be talking about some theater news with
Oh man.
Mia Watson. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. But this is the sound of WMSC. You just heard the sound by the 1975. And welcome back to the Morning Buzz. I am so excited to announce for the first time ever. Do we have a name for your segment, babe?
Oh, trust. There's a name.
Okay, I'm gonna hand it off to Mia.
All right.
For your segment, babe.
Hi, I am the other Mia on Girl Buzz. My name is Mia Watson, and we are here for who's excited to hear me yap. We are here for
Me.
Mia's Theater Kid Corner, where I bring you your weekly dose of theater and entertainment news. So here is where I cover Broadway, off-Broadway, regional theater, West End, film and TV, many more. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I do major in theater. That is the main thing I do here besides the lovely WMSC. So it's only fitting. So let's get started with some Broadway news. On Broadway, unfortunately, multiple shows have posted their closing notices this week. Gutenberg the Musical, starring Andrew Rannells and Josh Gad, made popular by its surprise celebrity cameos at the end of each performance, which usually blow up on TikTok pretty frequently, is slated to close this Sunday, the 28th. Two original musicals, both based on true stories, Harmony and How to Dance in Ohio, have both announced closing dates in February. I was very fortunate to see How to Dance in Ohio just a little over a week ago, so I'm incredibly upset about this show closing. Many new plays and musicals have announced their arrival to Broadway this spring, some of which include Paper Mill Playhouse's production of The Great Gatsby, starring Jeremy Jordan and Eva Noblezada.
Yippee!
I love Jeremy Jordan. That's so incredible.
I
Mhm.
saw it at Paper Mill back in October. I really hope they fix the script. Oh, everything else great. Everything else great. Like I lived for all the tech elements. I lived for the performances.
Yes.
They got to fix that script in my humble, slightly educated opinion.
Saw Jeremy Jordan though.
I did.
Mhm.
Girl, I was second row. I got that student discount.
Yeah, the
Wow.
student
yeah.
discount's amazing.
For those of you who don't know, you can get a lot of student discounts at a lot of regional theaters and also nonprofit Broadway theaters. Paper Mill Playhouse, you can get $20 student tickets. I believe the promo code is student20. So I was able to see Great Gatsby for $20 right around Halloween.
What a treat.
Trust, I will always find a way to get cheap tickets. My parents don't believe me sometimes. Some others include the subversive London revival of Sunset Boulevard, starring Nicole Scherzinger of the Pussycat Dolls, which just closed, and that show utilizes a lot of audiovisual elements, including one of the cast members walking down the streets of London with a camera rig in his face, and a lot of people on TikTok love to make fun of that. Not make fun of it; they love to parody it. And finally, The Heart of Rock and Roll, featuring music from Huey Lewis and the News. And I don't know about you guys, maybe it's just me, but I feel like every time I hear Huey Lewis, I think of American Psycho.
Of course.
Yeah. So moving on to Off Broadway. For those of you who don't know what Off Broadway is, it is more New York theater, just not Broadway. So that essentially means it's smaller theaters. Because a Broadway theater has to have, I believe, at least 500 seats. So, in off-Broadway news, renowned Broadway composer Stephen Sondheim, who wrote West Side Story, Into the Woods, Sweeney Todd, and so many others, his final new musical, Here We Are, closed on Sunday, January 21st, after a limited run at the Shed in Hudson Yards. I was able to see it on Saturday. I was gooped and gagged. It was great. The show had been in development since 2016, with the production originally slated for the Public Theater. Prior to Sondheim's death in late 2021, he gave his blessing for the production to be produced, even though the musical score was left unfinished. The world premiere production starred David Hyde Pierce, Michaela Diamond, Bobby Cannavale, Dennis O'Hare, and so many more. I was very lucky to have seen it once in December and once closing weekend because I can't help myself, apparently. Moving on to film and TV. Last week, the film adaptation of the Broadway adaptation of Mean Girls premiered in movie theaters across America, starring Broadway alum and pop star Renee Rapp, who also just featured on last week's episode of Saturday Night Live, hosted by Jacob Elordi, where she performed her song written for the new Mean Girls, Not My Fault, with Megan Thee Stallion. Also last week, Tony Award-winning Shucked the Musical, the comedy musical about porn, of all things, closed, where at their curtain call, it was announced that a film adaptation is in development.
Can we talk about the Mean Girls movie?
I was really
May we?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't
I
seen
know.
it yet either.
I need
but
to
I've
see
heard
it.
a lot of mixed reviews.
I watched like half of it on TikTok already.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I'm really from a theater person perspective, like I love when musicals get adapted into movies. But it's so like hit or miss. I'm really one sister, so my two sisters are not into theater at all, and my one sister saw it with her roommates when it came out, and she texted me, she's like, "This is so cringe," and I was like, "Yeah."
Can we? Okay, so
That's what I heard.
I keep seeing people rip apart the costume design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
and a lot of people are giving Agori Rice, who plays Katie, a lot of flack, but also my thing is no shade to her as an actress, but if you're making an adaptation of a stage musical, why are you not casting people who can sing at that level?
Because, like, sure, she can sing, but she's not.
But it doesn't fit the music.
I'm sorry, you're singing with Moana and Regina George herself on
And
Broadway.
the actor who played
Yeah.
Damien, Jaquel Spivey, was the lead in A Strange Loop, which won the Tony for Best Musical in 2022. He was Tony nominated for the role. Like, I saw it. Like, it's incredible. And, I get it. Like, you want to have known people and things like that. And, I know the guy that played Aaron Samuels is Conrad in The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I've not watched. Sorry. But I'm just like, they cut so much of the music, and a lot of people are really upset about that.
Yeah, I heard the two biggest things three was one, the costume design. I heard like a lot, and I saw it myself.
Why?
Only in the trailer, and I was disappointed. And I was like, okay, that's really.
Why is Regina George wearing Sheen?
Yeah.
It's really giving Sheen
Like Bae.
Like yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not giving character to like it's not like they really like focused on what the characters would have done style wise. Like they kind of just picked what they thought would look good. I feel like
Regina George is a bougie gal.
Yeah.
She is a stylish bougie gal.
Yeah.
I would not catch her wearing Sheen.
Yeah.
What is this?
that is on period. I also I heard a
We're ripping
lot
this
of
apart
mixed
right now.
reviews about the actress, about Katie, and people calling her a nepo baby, and that's why she got the role. That's what everyone's saying. No shade to the actress, of course. I have not seen the film yet, so I really don't know. But that's just what I've heard from like two different people being like, they really could have casted it better, and in regards to talent and stuff like that. So I think it's really interesting, and it's also really interesting that they cut like some songs, because I saw Mean Girls with the original cast like when I was in maybe like I don't know 3 years ago now or whatever, when it first came out, and every single song in the Mean Girls Broadway soundtrack is such a bop.
Yes.
Cut anything is just like, wow, that hurts a lot.
That's a crime.
Well, like for me as a music girly and a theater girly, just the backing music, like the orchestrations for the movie version versus the stage version, I'm sorry, like some of it was so underwhelming. Like if you listen, someone made one of Karen's song in the show is called Sexy.
So good.
And someone actually took Avantika's vocals with the Broadway cast recording backing orchestrations, and it sounded like a million times better.
Why are we mixing it?
Well, because they were like, what's with all, like, why is everything like with a lo-fi beat?
Ooh.
Like if you've listened to it, it's like it's not like underwhelming, but it's just so different that I'm like, why even try to adapt it if you're gonna change it so much?
I don't think it
Yeah.
packs the same punch.
Yeah.
It's just, first of all, why we got lo-fi beats,
Yeah.
and why we got Regina George wearing Sheen.
That's
Yeah.
the most
I
important
would not
things.
catch Regina George wearing some sheer fabric. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? No, backtracking. I don't think I'd catch Regina George wearing Doc Martens.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And like those are two different genres of girlies, I feel like.
I love my ducks.
Yeah, because like half the people in this room are wearing Docs right now.
So I feel like a lot of like we all give the doc vibe, which is like super fun, and that's a genre of like the alt cool, vibe. But Regina is like, she's gonna be in a micro mini skirt, and
She's
she's
the
gonna be
it
giving like
Goral.
I wanted to see a little bit more like Y2K inspiration. I think
Yeah,
like,
that would be awesome.
that would have been really, really beneficial.
I'm standing up.
Speak on it.
Yep.
When Lara stands up, you know something's up.
First
For
of all,
sure.
Something is about to be said.
I would love to sit down with their design team, like their costume design team, and go, "Hey, bae. So I don't know if you know, but Y2K is like back, and it's a thing. And this time it's like cool and quirky, and it's not skirt over jeans kind of deal. It's a little juicy tracksuit.
Yeah,
It's a little micro mini skirt. It's a little crop top.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
It's a little like. And I'm sorry. Why are we wearing fast fashion? First of all, you could have. It could have been so cool to get some vintage pieces.
Yes, literally.
Also,
Speak on it.
yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
What incredible point. Also, the fact that I feel like, not to bring this up, but we
Not
just
to
had
bring it
the
up.
writer strikes, like talking all about like supporting the creation of these films and in many layers to that. But then you go and do fast fashion when it's like, okay, we talk about like supporting each other and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like support small business. Also, were any of these costume designers like, come on, go open a Pinterest. Like there's
Well-
so many inspo boards
So many.
surrounding like Mean Girls. Like Mean Girls when it first came out, like the movie, like years ago, obviously, like was just such an iconic, like it was a movement, like the
Mhm.
girlies love that stuff. Like I feel like you could pull inspiration from Mean Girls at any point and be like, make it a look, like regardless of the year. And I feel like you really could have gone on Pinterest, looked up a cute little Pinterest board, and just done a little
Right.
bit
I think-
better.
I think we ripped her apart enough. May we let her rest.
Did we do a moment of silence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Mia, what else do we got?
And I'm gonna just tack on a quick little thing about me, but like
Please do
they
it.
filmed in Middletown, New Jersey.
Yes.
was filmed in But that's really cool.
Yeah, like I know a bunch of people who were extras in the movie, but
Really?
That's
my thing is
awesome.
like we're in New Jersey. There's so many resources. Like there's so many like cool places that you could like source stuff. But
Mhm.
anyway, let's move on to some super exciting news for young theater artists. Alicia Keys' original musical Hell's Kitchen has announced an extensive fellowship program for young artists. To quote a statement from the Broadway briefing, the initiative will place fellows across 9 departments of the musical's production: directing, choreography, scenic design, costume design, lighting design, sound design, projection design, company management / executive producing, and public relations. Now, there are so many fellowship programs that exist, usually regional theaters or smaller off-Broadway theaters. So for Alicia Keys to kind of spearhead this for a Broadway production is kind of a big deal. But yeah, super cool. And finally, let's bring it to some MSU theater news. In some theater and dance department updates, rehearsals have begun for the department's first 2 productions, Marie Antoinette and Anyone Can Whistle, which I am the stage manager of. Both productions did start rehearsals before winter break. Then we took a hiatus, and both are slated to open in February.
Julia, we gotta go.
Wow.
Yeah, you do.
Do you know the dates yet?
Yeah, so Anyone Can Whistle runs from February 16th to the 24th, and Marie Antoinette opens the 24th, and I think goes till the first week of March.
Sounds like a lot of opportunities to see a good show.
Oh, for
I love
sure.
it.
And then, later in the semester, there's also Sophisticated Ladies, which is the Duke Ellington jazz musical, and The Harvest, which is a Sam Hunter play. Sam Hunter also wrote The Whale.
Whoa.
Dare I say you like jazz?
Yeah, I was gonna say, dare I say there's a lot of sophisticated ladies in this. Also.
Yeah.
Not
Um,
only-
Wow.
we're
Okay.
sophisticated and we're engineers.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. We could really do it all.
Doing the most, truly.
Anyways.
But yeah, that's it for the Theater Kid corner. My name is Mia Watson. Let's return to our regularly scheduled buzz.
The news. But lucky for you, in the next 30 seconds, but for our dear listener, it's probably about 24 seconds. I can't do math.
Wow.
I
That
don't-
looks like a lot of concentration.
I was
You
really
ate that,
I
yeah.
was trying to carry the one, but for those who don't know, there's a little 7-second delay between the studio and on air. Just something silly and goofy. But it'll soon be our second hour, which is known to get a little silly and a little goofy. But you're listening to the Morning Buzz here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. It's currently 8 on the dot, and we're so happy that you decided to join us on this early morning, this cold early morning in January.
Yeah.
But I have a wonderful room full of ladies with me. My co-host Julia Slevin. We're starting left to right. Julia Slevin, my co-host,
Hello.
my lady in crime throughout the past year or so.
You're making me emotional.
Was it a year? No, we started
almost
co-hosting.
Do you know what
Fall.
this is the year anniversary of? To be honest, not to get sappy. A year ago
get
around
sappy.
this time, I was a transfer student, and it was my first semester at Montclair, and I met Laura at Actually, Emil introduced me after the music meeting, and you
I'm
were like, "Do
music
you want to be a
director.
newscaster on the Morning Buzz?" Within like 5 minutes of meeting you, and then a few days later, I was on the Morning Buzz for the first time, and this is my third semester on the Morning Buzz. Right here with
Aw.
Laura. I've never done Buzz without Laura, so
Oh,
it's really
don't get sappy.
stop.
Don't get sappy.
Girls are back though, and we love a female Buzz.
Yeah.
We're really, really excited for this semester.
I'm gonna give you some lore, just a little bit of lore, and then we'll move on our merry way.
Mhm.
So back when I became producer, first time I became producer, it was spring 22. I decided to make the Friday crew for that semester all girls. And so the fact that the producers now are continuing a tradition is so cute. We also got a boy buzz, which is on Mondays, but
Scary.
no comment. Anyway, moving on from left to right, we have Mia Savage, our newscaster, a new face for Buzz, but not a new face for WMSC. And same thing for Miss Mia Watson, our segment host, who delivered that incredible segment. I ate it up.
Thank you.
I am so stuffed because I ate so much because you served so
And there
hard.
was no crumbs.
No,
Plate cleared.
I licked them off the plate.
Oh
And
Yeah.
of course, we have our sportscaster slash producer in the corner. We have Liz. Hi, Liz.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Liz. Anyway, but we have a lot to talk about for our second hour. We're going to be covering some MSU confessions. It's going to get silly, and we're talking about a certain cup that has been making a resurgence, and it's quite problematic. No, I'm kidding. It's quite problematic. But guys, I might meet the love of my life here on the Morning Buzz. You're just gonna have to stay tuned. But before we get into anything, Mia Savage, what's going on in the world?
I'm so glad you asked.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God. Good morning. I'm Mia Savage, and this is WMSC News. Our top story, plagiarism probe finds some problems with former Harvard President Claudine Gay's work. For our top story, Harvard is investigating a recent plagiarism allegation made against their current president, Claudine Gay. These allegations were made known a couple months ago on October 24th, 2023. The school reached out to several authors who Gay is accused of plagiarizing off of. One of the graduate school papers was found to contain some words as other works published before. Presidents before her has also been let go in observation of recent world events. On to our national news, more than $1 billion awarded to Minnesota-Wisconsin Bridge. They were given more than $1 billion in federal funding to help replace the John A. Blatnick Bridge between Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's an aging bridge that needs to be replaced. This investment will repair a major connection between the states, allowing for a better economical relationship and growth between those two states. Each state committed around $400 million to fund the build. Next, on to our local New Jersey news. This is just a fun little story I found. So, a man from LBI surfs for more than 1,000 days straight. Sometimes he'll surf for as little as like a half an hour, 20 minutes, or up to like a few hours, like 3 or 4 at a time. He says he wants to hit the 3-year mark around late April. He's in the ocean almost every day, devoting countless hours to his craft. And for weather, today has a high of 39 degrees, and a low of 29 degrees. It'll be moderately cloudy all day. Right now, it's a lot colder compared to this afternoon with a temperature of around 30 degrees. And thank you, Laura and Julia, for telling me. Apparently, around now, it has a little chance of snowing, which is so
Yes, ma'am.
exciting. And then this week will gradually be getting warmer and warmer, with hitting a high of 59 degrees on Friday and getting up into the 60s. There's a chance of rain Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but then again on Saturday and Sunday, it'll go back down with an average temperature of around the high 30s, low 40s. And this has been WMSC News. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you, Mia. So I'm looking at the weather app just on my little phone here. And according to the app, flurries are expected to start in 4 minutes and last for 32. So just to
Wow.
give you a little.
Was also just looking, and it's funny when you look on your phone, because when you look at the snow little emoji at 9 a.m. it says, well, at least it says it on mine. It just says it at 9 a.m. if you're an iPhone user and you have the iPhone weather app, but then it doesn't do anything after that. So it's funny to just see the one snowflake for the 1 hour.
But I
So-
do have an announcement.
Okay.
So we have a Red Hawk alert. It says, quote, Clove Road to be closed from Normal/Upper Mountain to Yogi Berra Drive most of the day for construction. will cause critical delays. Allow extra time. You know what, girls? Mia Watson said it best in our group chat. She said, quote, actually, no, tell the people, please.
To quote myself, we complained about driving on campus too much. And then Liz said, oh yeah, take that.
They heard the morning buzz and they responded.
They went, oh
You
yeah,
know what? At least they're listening to the morning buzz.
on WMSC. Anyway, Liz, kicking it over to you. So, poor Clove Road.
Clove Road is unfortunately closing for construction because there's always construction somewhere, you know.
Why
But-
wouldn't there be?
I don't know. They finished on Valley Road and they're like, you know what? Let's move on to Clove Road now and cause more traffic. But I think that's enough traffic updates for today. We have some sports updates. So for our first update today, Tom Pelissero, the NFL Network insider, reported that the Titans plan to hire Brian Callahan, the Bengals offensive coordinator, as their head coach. Even though Callahan had interviews scheduled with the Atlanta Falcons and Carolina Panthers for a position of head coach, he had a second interview with the Titans. This move would mark Callahan's first NFL head coaching job and will succeed Mike Vrabel, who was fired on January 9th. In other football news, NFC and AFC championships are set. The NFC championship will feature the Lions and the 49ers, both of whom finished the season with a 12-5 record. They also both decided their last playoff games by catching an interception in the final minutes to put the game away. The AFC Championship will have the Lamar Jackson-led Ravens against the Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs. The Ravens finished this season with a league-leading 13-4 record and have been proven a tough team to beat. Nevertheless, these exciting matchups will take place starting next Saturday. Sliding over to the NBA, a blockbuster midseason trade went down, sending Raptors star Pascal Siakam to the Pacers in exchange for Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, 2 first-round picks, and a second-round pick. Adding Siakam into the mix was to complement superstar guard Tyrese Halliburton and lockdown center Miles Turner, has suddenly made this already scary Pacers team even scarier. The Pacers have been seeking competitiveness since the Paul George era, and since Pascal is most likely a one-year rental, they will be looking to see just how far they can push through the playoffs with this squad. And finishing off this morning sports news, some score updates from our local teams. The Nets lost to the Clippers 125-114. The Knicks beat the Raptors 126-100. The Devils lost to the Stars 6-2, and the Rangers lost to the Kings 2-1. As for Red Hawk updates, the women's basketball team is 7-11, and the men's basketball team is 12-6. This has been WMSC Sports. Back to you, Lara.
Thanks, Liz. Because, you know, guys, I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl.
I'm
Yes.
just a girl in
the world.
Speaking of being just a girl, Laura.
Oh, I'm just a student, too.
That's true.
Because it's time for MSU Confessions. This is a staple of me and Julia's here on the Buzz. But before we get into anything silly and goofy, I must put out a disclaimer. These stories are not our personal experiences. These are stories from anonymous people who submitted to the Instagram account Montclair State Confessions for us to laugh at. And most importantly, this account is not affiliated with MSU or WMSC. All right, now we can start. Anonymous said, quote, just a friendly reminder that if you're fidgeting your legs in the business school rooms with the chairs attached to the table, everyone else in the row starts shaking. Dare I say they're shook.
I don't get what that. I don't get which chairs they're talking about.
So I think in the School of Business, there's these chairs, and they're attached to the table.
Wait, chair, like individual chairs?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you basically,
Yeah.
it's like a long table, kind of like where we're sitting,
Uh-huh.
but the chairs are literally attached to the table, so you kind of just slide them out, and then they like themselves come back towards the table. But obviously, if the chairs are connected to the table and you start shaking your legs, then the complaint here is that apparently the entire row starts shaking because you're shaking your legs. But you know, I'm a leg shaker myself. Let me shake. Let me
Yeah.
shake it off.
Good
course.
T-Swizzle reference there. And thank you for the clarification, Liz.
I
It's like,
promised
what was
myself
before?
that I wouldn't talk about Taylor Swift on the buzz this semester, but here I
well,
am
Ugh,
talking about Taylor
you know
Swift.
how I feel.
Well, I'm staring
You
at
know how I
the
feel.
sticker on Julia's water bottle that just
Yeah,
says
yeah.
Swifty.
It's so
Yeah.
cute.
I love my girl. She's
Julia's a
fellow-
proud Swiftie.
I really am.
Work.
She's also, my girl Taylor is a Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius. I love a fire sign queen. So yeah. Speaking of fire and temperatures, Anonymous said, quote, "Tell me why my roommate is using his fan 24/7, even though it's already insanely cold in our room." I hate that.
let him live.
I mean, let him live. If you are sharing the same room as somebody, I mean, yeah, that's a little inconvenient, but get an extra blanket. I don't know how you can need a fan, but also sometimes my apartment's really, really hot. Sometimes it's really, really cold. And that I'm grateful for our MSU heating and cooling, but sometimes, when you're housing this many students, everybody has a different preference. So
Yeah.
24/7 though is a lot. I mean, that's constant blowing air.
So like,
Yeah.
I have a question. Is it on when he's not there?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, I do that with the fan in my room,
Well,
but I don't share a room with anybody.
I think about this all the time.
I gotta
so
circulate the air.
how many? I know there's 2 commuters. Are you live on campus?
I do.
Okay, so there's three of us that live on campus, 2 commuters. I think about the fact that I don't pay for electric and utilities a lot, and I just be using my
Mhm.
MSU apartment, and I keep the lights on.
Oh, water
I
too.
keep water running for a really long time. I'd be doing laundry for a while.
I'll be doing 6 loads of laundry
I
in one
do
day.
3 washers.
Yup.
What is someone gonna do? I don't pay for it. So it's definitely interesting how we all use electric so much, but 24/7 is a lot for a fan.
He's getting it. He's getting his money's worth.
He is.
Truly.
You know what?
Truly.
The only thing I get nervous about for him is when you have your heating or cooling on and you go to bed and you wake up with dry mouth.
Ooh.
Yup.
I always think about that. I don't know why, but that is a concern. But you know what? 2024 in, let the people live. Let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have.
Hmm.
I'm excited for this one.
I know, me too.
Oh my
I'm
God.
excited for
I
you
want to
too,
rip
but-
into this one. Anonymous said, quote, Liz knew what she was doing, giving this one to me.
Mhm.
But Anonymous said, quote, y'all need to stop with the Stanley Cups. It's just a cup. It's like the Visco girls all over again. As soon as I hear and it drops, I'm leaving.
I knew you were gonna do the justice.
Yup.
So I feel like you text like that. You're like,
I originally had this for Julia, and then after rereading it, I was like, this is probably more of a Lara one to put. So I switched the order.
Liz just guts us.
I knew that Lara would do it justice. She really would. Just
Liz.
just the tone, just getting into the
No.
zone of whoever wrote this, just
I-
really representing.
I got beat. Listen, I was low key a Visco girl. I'm not gonna lie to nobody.
Real.
I'm
Yep.
sorry. Why do you need to carry a 40-ounce weapon with you? A weapon. But it's not just a weapon. It's an obnoxious weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hydration.
Like,
Weapon.
let's
I had to scan. the
Why does
bill.
your cup need to have a handle? That's not how cups were made. If
It's-
there's a handle, it's not a cup, it's a mug.
it's so
me and Mia have our Owalas and we just grabbed it by the little handle at the top.
But it's
And
also
just
but
coming
but
right-
with the Awala,
I love
it's also a lock.
Not sponsored.
It's also a lock so that it doesn't pop open
My strawing
when you're not using it.
my straw's
Exactly.
covered.
You, like,
See-
make me want to switch sides.
I
Yeah, Listen, it's my beef with the Stanley Cups is that I want to be able to put it in my bag and not spill.
Right.
real.
That's
Yeah.
valid.
That's why I've been on the Hydro Flask train, I've been on the
Mhm.
Awala train. I only recently got rid of my Hydro Flask from high school, so it was
Mine too.
6 years old.
Oh, okay.
Because for me, what's with the hyper consumerism of a reusable water bottle?
Yes. Oh my God.
Why do you need a handle?
Why do you need 20 of them?
No, do you see the shelf of all of them in like rainbow order?
It's like
How much water are you really drinking?
Well, when like, did y'all see that viral video? That woman's car
Yes.
caught on fire, and the only thing that survived was her Stanley.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I beat Liz too. I have no. This is something else. I have something different to talk about that I actually saw yesterday, related to Stanley Cups. Just a little side note.
It's all related, we promise.
Yeah, no, there's this 23-year-old woman who's arrested over 65 stolen Stanley drinking cups that the police found
Damn.
in her car. And there's a picture on the article. It's like I guess whoever the cop was that pulled her over, whatever the case was,
Why did we do
collected
this?
the Stanley cups and put them on his car so he could take a picture of what the items were. And it just looks so funny. It's just a bunch of Stanley cups stacked on a like Ford Explorer with like the like
Most of them have the
my
labels on them
gosh.
still.
they're stolen, so it's just
That's so
Man has a
funny.
collection.
65?
I want to.
65.
There's so much to unpack here, and we don't have enough time to do it.
Yeah.
But you know what, Liz? Can we please just talk about the Stanleys when we come back from?
Yes,
Actually, no,
we can.
Actually, no. We talk about the Oscars because that's coming up soon.
Yeah.
But
We will talk about the Stanleys.
we'll be back
later. Tune in for I'm Just a Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like the way you said that story got me so itching and so excited because I got some. I have thoughts and I can't contain them. But I'm getting ahead of myself because we have a very exciting little news for you. Nicole Pissarro sat down with Elizabeth Rich, the director of the Feliciano Center of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. I got there. To discuss tomorrow's podcast for entrepreneurs event. That was fabulous, and nominations will continue at 8:41. So we have some time. So while we have some time, AI. Oh no. I see what you're doing here, Liz. I see exactly what you're doing. And you know what? I'm eating it up. I am eating it up, Liz. Because you know, guys, are you tirelessly searching for a girlfriend? Especially with Valentine's Day on its horizon? But don't you worry. Because you know why? AI has got you covered. Because AI girlfriends are becoming more and more popular by the day. They're able to communicate just like humans by texting and provide convenience and excitement. According to a study by Psychology Today, researchers say AI love will be more popular than we think. And you know what? This could be scary. It's not easy to maintain romantic relationships due to many life challenges. So going to technological outlets like artificial intelligence could make some people's lives much easier. Because you guys want to know why?
Why?
Yes, tell us.
There's been heartache and there's been pain. And I don't know if I can face it again. I just don't know because I'm waiting for the chorus.
Oh.
I can't stop now. So far. Where is it at?
This is
You
a
know, you know why, guys?
for the chorus.
What, Laura?
I just want to know what love is. I just want to know. And so today, I want the AI to show me
Beautifully sad.
know what love is.
Oh my god.
AI
This
girlfriend.
Valentine's Day, someone could show me, and that's AI.
At least we know that it's always there, always lurking, always watching, always prepping.
You should have got nominated for those Oscars with that beautiful performance.
Man.
Oh my God, Bae, thank
That's
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Speechless.
But I
Miss
wouldn't
Circle.
recommend artificial intelligence for a partner. If it,
Yeah.
no words.
Yeah.
Listen, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to judge anybody.
Whatever floats your boat.
Real.
No, for real. And but so guess what?
What?
The Oscar nominations.
That's what I
are
was
back.
trying to figure out. I was like, do we jump to our next little story, or do we?
might.
I think we
No,
go
we-
right back into
back
the
to
Oscars. Back to the real deal right now.
This is live coverage here on the Morning Buzz.
Oh, yeah.
for the Oscar
Yeah.
nominations.
Oh, this is so
Yippee.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We have nominees for original song.
Ooh.
Ooh.
If they don't,
Yes.
if
Sorry.
but if what was I made for isn't, I'm gonna be really upset.
Yeah.
That should be a next gen.
Mm.
That's a great idea.
Oh, I'm gonna be really mad if what was I made
Mhm.
for wasn't nominated.
That's such a gorgeous song.
Yes.
That song, like, listen, I'm just kind of so fun, but like that song, like,
That
what
broke
was
me.
I made for is just so much more like
Mhm.
Because like I think What Was I Made For is a very beautiful song.
Yeah.
really.
Oh, we have original score.
Ooh. American Fiction.
Surprise to no one.
Well,
John
yeah, it's
Williams
John
is the winner.
Williams.
Yeah.
Like
Let's see. Will Hans Zimmer get a nomination too? I don't even know if he composed anything this season. Probably have.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oppenheimer.
all right.
Important
The
things.
Oppenheimer score has been like all over TikTok.
Yes.
I'm just like, what's
Mm.
going on?
Oh, another documentary feature film.
Shout out to our journalists out there for real.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh. Poor daughter. See, I wish I knew these to like comment on them, but I can't say I do.
Bringing the Oppenheimer score back into No, it has been everywhere.
Well, no, it was a fun trend where like it was the end of the semester and people were like, you know, like posting about like how much they needed to grind to like get a good grade in a class to pass a class to get all their missing assignments done, and it was funny because they would just use screenshots from the movie. And
Like Beagle.
it's like pictures of Cillian Murphy like freaked out because, you know, his character builds the atomic bomb and it's like, and I need a 65 on the final to pass the class.
Yep. No, that's real though. But you know what? I don't know if Mr. Murphy, you know, I feel like he participated in the trend in private.
Probably.
Probably. Maybe.
I was in
Me,
Target
good take.
the other day and I saw the Oppenheimer like the book. Like this
Mm.
specific biography that the
Oh.
movie was based on. I was like, oh, hey.
There she is.
There she is.
We have animated feature film.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is. Oh,
I still need to see The Boy in the Hair and I want to so bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. I actually have not seen it.
mm.
Across the
Wow.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Across the Spider-Verse is so
Mhm.
stunning and beautiful. I'm really rooting for that one. Oh,
yeah.
we have production design up
Ooh.
next. Barbie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one. As it should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
These 5 movies are gonna be like every
That's
like,
what it usually is.
yeah.
Oh, shut up. Oh, that was
ooh.
really rude.
And there's an ad.
That was really rude.
That was really not okay.
We have editing.
I don't have a knot.
Now Mia doesn't have an ad.
Oh, that's so
Oh.
strange. Okay, well, we have, yeah, holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Four Things.
Yippee.
Wow.
Speaking of award shows, were you guys keeping up with the Emmys and the Golden Globes at all?
A little bit, yeah.
I really didn't keep up that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Golden Globes, I've heard nothing but like, or seen clips on TikTok of
Oh
how
my
bad
God.
the host was.
Oh,
Yeah.
awful.
That it was just like kind of almost ruined the Golden Globes. Like
Yeah.
watching it, like a lot of people turned it off because they were like, he was so annoying.
Yeah.
Also, shout out for sound. Oh, no, it went away. Oppenheimer for sound though.
Mm,
But
yeah.
visual effects.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, I saw the creator. That was really cool. Yeah. Guardians. Yes.
I've heard a lot of people talk about Godzilla -1 recently.
Yeah.
Mhm. I heard good
Wow.
things about the third Guardians.
It's so
low-key.
good.
Yeah,
'Cause
I haven't seen it yet.
I love
me
it.
neither.
Oh, cinematography.
Cinematography,
Ooh.
my thing.
Ooh.
El Conde. Ooh.
So
Mm.
okay, the cinematography in Maestro is good. Like I really liked the choices with the cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did not see Poor Things or Killers.
I need to see Poor Things
Yeah.
so bad.
Oh,
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
It's the
I'm gonna need to have a conversation with Molly O'Donnell today. Paul Giamatti sweep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's go.
Oh,
Yes.
Girl buzz.
Girl boss. Real.
Mm.
Yay.
Ooh. Yeah.
Uh,
Ooh. No, Margot Robbie.
I was
Aw.
just thinking that. I was like, why is Margot not?
I know, right?
They'll give it to Ryan Gosling.
Oh, director.
Oh. Ooh. You think Bradley Cooper will get nominated, guys? Ooh.
That's true.
So no Barbie.
Yeah, I was
no
just
Greta
I was like,
Gerwig.
no Greta.
That's I'm sorry.
Oh. Oh,
It's almost like they're ignoring like the reason Barbie had to be made. Best Picture.
this is a big one.
Ooh, okay.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Well, this is what, 10?
Yay.
At least they got that.
I know. A lot in this category.
Yeah, 10.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They
Did-
expanded it to 10 like 15 years ago.
That's so cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, she bonked the mic.
She bonked the mic.
All right, so
That was me when the mic got unscrewed.
Oh my god.
our mic fell in the studio this morning, but we fixed it because we're girls in STEM. So
And me.
it's been brought to my attention that we have a very special guest on today. We have the host of Movies Till Midnight right here at
Whoa.
WMSC. We have Danny Krasik. Welcome to the Morning Buzz.
Hi.
my
it's
gosh,
nice to
I
be
didn't
here on
see
Women in
you.
STEM Day.
Jump scare.
Someone joined the Zoom call.
Hi, Danny.
It's nice to be a woman in STEM.
So I've been reading your messages in our WMSC Discord chat that you have thoughts. So would you like to break down your
I'm a little bit angry.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Gonna be in depth about it tomorrow on Wednesday Buzz, the best Buzz. Because there's just more time
We're
and I can
literally
have
on
time to
the
process.
best buzz right now.
Calm down.
Danny's just a girl who's
I
very
am just a
angry.
girl.
Very angry about these nominations.
I am a bit upset about some of these. I kind of wanted some more May December nominations would have been nice. I'm kind of upset by how many nominations Maestro and Napoleon got. Overall, pretty normal for the most part. Not that many snubs and not that many things that were surprising, but there were the ones that I'm not happy with, I'm very unhappy with, is basically my summary.
So which ones are you unhappy with?
So, like, why did Bradley Cooper get nominated for Best Actor?
Oof.
Terrible performance, terrible movie.
He's thinking hard.
Charles Melton didn't get nominated for supporting actor, even though CNN's saying that he did. I was watching. He did not get nominated. So that one made me mad. Past Lives didn't really get anything, which is kind of shocking. Anatomy of a Fall not even getting a nomination for international is very weird. Yeah. I didn't see any of the short films. Elemental getting an animated nomination is
that's kind of wild to
ludicrous.
me.
Is ludicrous.
I was I'm not gonna lie, quite shocked.
Like,
Well,
come on, what are we doing here?
Jacob in the Discord server said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem got snubbed for Best Animated Feature.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have
forgot
to
that came out.
completely agree as
Nah.
a fanatic of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe.
Yes.
That movie was beautifully animated, and I think that it really needed to be at least nominated. But that's just my little spiel.
There's two things I want to point out here. So we have
Wait, hold on. Gerwig didn't get nominated for director?
I was just about to say that, Daniel.
Oh my god,
So Gerwig got no nomination for director, and Margot Robbie got no nomination for lead actress nom.
That's crazy.
So
yeah, lead actress was kind of disappointing. I'm being completely honest.
I'll have to agree on
Lily
that.
Gladstone and Emma Stone, love to see it. Sandra Hüller, great. Carey Mulligan, okay, whatever. Did not see this other movie.
One of our DJs and members of the Buzz here, Stella, said, quote, Ryan Gosling getting a nom for supporting actor, but Margot Robbie and Greta not being nominated is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he was easily the best part of the movie, if we're being honest, but like that is kind of nuts that Greta didn't even get a nomination.
No,
that doesn't make any sense
Greta
to me.
too.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Which I remember you saying
who did get director for nominated for director?
Oh,
I'm trying to find the category. This list is formatted weird. Where is it?
I know Oppenheimer's director.
Yeah, Nolan was gonna win regardless
Yeah.
of who got nominated. That one was a lock.
Scorsese got nominated.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
We love that.
Trying to think. It's just a Ken world here.
Christine Triet?
Truly.
That's weird. Why did she get nominated and not Kodrich?
But regardless of all this, how do you think the Oscars are going to plan out? Like, how do you think it's going to go?
Oppenheimer sweep in like every category.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think
that,
so.
and
in
I
every
also
category
think,
gets nominated for.
yeah,
Mm.
I think it's
Yeah.
that. I want to
I mean,
see Barbie swoop though too.
Yeah, I mean, tune into tomorrow's Buzz to no, just kidding. Yeah, it's gonna be an Oppenheimer year, I think.
Ooh.
Do you think there's a specific reason why it's gonna be an op?
It was just it's the most Oscar-y of the movies and also the most popular. Like it's a movie that's gonna be popular, like everyone's gonna be happy if it wins a bunch of stuff, and it's a movie that is like last year was weird because Everything Everywhere was not really like an Oscar movie in the traditional sense. This Oppenheimer's like a big movie about a nuclear bomb.
Can-
So like I don't know. I feel like it's got the sauce, but I don't know. It's
We'll
also
see.
8:56 on a
Wait,
day that's not my
can I
buzz
say
morning.
something?
We'll
real
see if it
quick?
cooks. Yes, Bay. Go for it.
So, in my humble opinion, the one of the not maybe not the only, but the most significant reason that Oppenheimer is so popular is because of the whole Barbenheimer thing.
That probably is true. I
You
mean,
know,
it
like
probably would have done decently well without it, but the fact that it made $1 billion.
like Christopher Nolan's a very popular director. Like he makes very good movies. I'm not gonna be like a man hater right now. But like the reason so many young people even know about the movie, like Danny, before you hopped on, like we were talking about how like the score from Oppenheimer and like screenshots from the movie were like a trend on TikTok. Like the only reason, in my opinion, that it's like popular with young people is because of the Barbenheimer phenomenon.
Yeah, no,
Because people
100%.
were making such a big deal about it for a full year beforehand. Like, oh my God, most polar opposite movies ever to come out on
Yeah,
the same day.
100%.
Like, let's make a whole thing out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was such like a
Absolutely.
crazy time too.
So Barbenheimer swoops in for all the Oscars.
Yeah.
But it's
Uh-huh.
gonna be an interesting. It's gonna be interesting seeing everyone's predictions come out. But do you have any like pressing predictions at this moment right now?
Like in terms of like, why did Elemental get nominated?
No, can we break that down for a second?
Don't hate, Danny, please.
No, we're gonna hate a little bit.
It wasn't even
Yeah, that's
that
fine, a little
bad. It
bit.
was just
It
why did
wasn't
it get
bad.
nominated?
Well,
It wasn't
my
that
question
good
is, why
either.
did it get nominated and not Teenage Mutant Ninja
Ninja
Turtles?
Ninja Turtles, yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. That's
Mhm.
crazy to me.
Spider-Verse, yeah,
Spider,
I
yeah.
get it.
Dua Lipa didn't get nominated for song. I'm kind of
No.
surprised by that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm kind of
Oh.
happy, but
Billie Eilish nominated for song.
yeah.
Best news I've heard all day.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
Mia.
don't know. In terms of like upsets, I can't really look at like pretty much all of these are going to go to Oppenheimer. Like all the
That-
technical ones are probably going to be Christopher Nolan's sweep, which will be cool, I guess. I don't know. Probably only minor upset I could see is maybe Giamatti winning actor, but he's been winning actor for a lot of stuff, so maybe that's not even an upset anymore.
The classic prediction is Nolan wipes the floor.
Yeah, it'd be really funny if like Maestro won Best Picture. I'd be really angry if that happened, but that'd be really funny for like a few minutes.
If we're taking
For a
the
few
if we're taking the granddaddy of all the awards, I'm guessing Best Picture is going to be the biggest one. Who's on your money for that one?
It's
Even though we're not
Oppenheimer.
yeah.
It's Oppenheimer. There's no way it's not Oppenheimer. It's like there's no way it's not Oppenheimer. This might be like the easy. Honestly, last year's Oscars were like you had like a ton of movies that were like like you had Everything Everywhere obviously, but you had a bunch of other movies that were like, oh wow, this could get nominated for blah blah blah, and this might win this, and ultimately they didn't because you had A24 sweep. But there's really nothing that's strong enough to stop Oppenheimer in a lot of these categories, I feel like.
It seems like
And deserved.
It seems like Oppenheimer is a unstoppable force at this point.
Yeah.
But
much like
there's a joke to be made somewhere.
Much like the bomb they made in the movie.
Huzzah.
But this has been thank you, Danny, for joining us and giving us your predictions. And don't forget to tune into the Morning Buzz tomorrow to hear more Oscar breakdown with yours truly, Danny Krasik. So thank you, Danny, for joining us. But this has been the Tuesday Morning Buzz here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And, I really think that Danny has one thought for all of these Maestro nominations. And I think that's just But thanks for tuning in to Morning Buzz. We'll be here next Tuesday. This is Up by the 1925.